Hey guys, it's Crys'Dawna from Bella Renovare, and today I'm going to show you guys how to strip the top of a wooden piece of furniture. And so it is nice and sunny outside right now, and I love doing it in the sun because it actually activates the stripper a lot better and I get a lot more done. So even if you can't do it out in the sun, it's a perfect time. If you can get the piece right directly in the sun, it will save you a lot of time. Okay, so I'm gonna go over it with you guys. So right now I want you guys to know, normally I wear my glasses, but it's really sunny, so I need to have a hat on because I don't want to get sunburnt. I like to take care of my skin, but anyways, so I use the Venom Steel, and I'm on selfie mode, so a lot of stuff might be backwards, but I use these Venom Steel gloves in my garage for whatever I do. They are super resistant to chemicals, and they just, I mean, they're worth every single penny. So I use these, and the stripper I use is Jasco. It is my favorite stripper. It's nice and thick, so it's not really drippy. It's just the best that I have used personally. This is my go-to. This is the only thing that I use. I also use a plastic scraper. You see how gross this is? You don't have to have a brand new one. I use a plastic scraper because if you use a metal one, your chances of, when you're scraping it, your chances of scraping into the wood and gouging it are much more likely. So I use a plastic one, and I like this one because it kind of scoops it up. But there's also tricks to the trade. You can use it this way, or you can use it on this side. So, and then I just have this wooden bowl that literally I use every single time. So you could use something like a metal or wooden bowl or something like that, something that the stripper is not going to eat through. So I use that every single time that I strip something, because I put the stripper in here. Sometimes you'll see that I'll pour it right on here, but a lot of times I have it in here. And then I just use a chip brush. Easy peasy. So I also, for this piece, I'm not going to need my wire brushes, but I have those. I always have a towel, and then I may or may not show you guys, I might need the steel wool for this piece. Generally, I do not sand my pieces after I strip them, unless there's like really big gouges or something that needs to be fixed. So usually I don't sand it down. If I do, I go over it really lightly with like a 120 orbital sander. You don't want to go any higher than 120 because the higher you go, you start closing that wood grain out. So if you're going to re-stain it, the stain doesn't soak into it. So let us get started. Okay, so I'm going to put my gloves on. I live in a little neighborhood that there's usually not a lot of traffic, but my neighbors are having a garage sale. So who doesn't love a good garage sale? All right, so I'm gonna just, for right now, because I haven't touched this piece and there's pretty heavy lacquer on here. This is cherry, and there's a pretty heavy lacquer. It's in pretty good shape. I see a couple little scratches that I might have to sand out. I don't know. A lot of times on a piece, depending on how deep the lacquer is, you may or may not even, this may just strip out, okay? So don't always think you have to sand something. So I'm gonna just put this on here, and I don't know if you guys can see that bubbling. This, you can hear it. This is why I like to do it in the sun, okay? So I like to work like just a little piece at a time. You see it starting to crackle up. Can you guys hear it? Do you hear that? This is why I love doing this in the sun. And you're out in the open air, so you're not breathing in as many chemicals. If I was in my garage, and I'm not very close to it, but if I was in my garage, I would be wearing a mask. So see how it's crackling up right here? So like I said, I generally work from section to section, just because it's a lot easier that way. I don't let it sit. I start scraping it off right away. I know that things say let it sit for 15, blah, 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 whatever. I just don't. So now I'm going to start scraping it. You guys see that? How it's already down almost past that. Whatever sealer is on here, whatever lacquer might be on here. Okay. And I usually have like, gosh, you can hear that like popping. And sometimes when you're in the sun, this actually will dry and you won't be able to scrape it off. That's okay, just put some more stripper right back on it. But what this has done right here is pulled it up. So yeah, see, so now like this is, you guys can't even see that. Okay, right here. So it's already dried, so it's not gonna scrape up. So that's fine. I usually just throw it over here. And I'm gonna throw some more on it. The thing about this method is it may use more stripper, but when you don't let it sit, it doesn't get gunky, it doesn't get, you know, because when you let it sit, it gets all gross and gunky, and then you're like working with freaking old gum or something. I don't even know. It just gets gross. But I am in a dry climate, so this stuff will dry really fast. I'm up at like, I don't know, Cheyenne's at like 6,500 feet or something like that. Something kind of high. Okay, so I'm gonna keep scraping. Do you guys see how this is just coming right off? And this stuff, you want to be careful, because if this gets on your arms or something like that, it's gonna burn. So you need to be careful when you're using stripper. Don't be careless. I don't let my kids around it, because one time Roxanne was around it and I told her not to come over, and she did, and we had to hurry up. If you do get it on you or your kids are around you, make sure you keep mineral spirits around. You can just throw that on a towel and throw it right on whatever spot, and it neutralizes it and it will stop burning. And then obviously once you do that, go wash yourself. But you see, look at how easy that was. We're all the way down to the wood right there. You can see how it's like, you see the difference right here? How this is still shiny and this is not shiny at all, because this is the bare wood now. Took me literally like 2 minutes. So I will continue to do this on the rest of the piece. Generally what I do with this old stuff right here is I'll either put it in a towel or put it in something that it's not going to eat through. So like, you know, if I've got like an old cardboard box, I'll just scoop it into the cardboard box and then throw it away. So you guys, that's easy peasy. Seriously, work smarter, not harder. This, I actually enjoy stripping stuff. I know a lot of people look at it and they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta strip that. Don't sand down the entire thing. One, if you're sanding down the entire thing, it takes forever. If you're using an orbital sander, sometimes you get the swirl marks. Plus, you've got the sand particles that are going in the air. And I know you're worried about chemicals with this, but just wear a mask if you're not out in the open air. Even if you are out in the open air, maybe wear a mask. I'm just showing you guys, you wouldn't understand what I was saying if I wasn't. So this is super, super simple. Just be very careful. Don't, if you were, you know, it's really hot out here. So normally I'd be wearing a long sleeve shirt, but I've done this a lot. So, and like I said, keep mineral spirits around, because if it gets on you, you can just dab some on there and then go wash that area. Make sure that you guys are wearing your protective gear. I know I'm not right now, so it sounds like I'm saying do as I say, not as I do, but you want to try to have goggles, long sleeve shirt, your body covered, because it will burn you. I mean, I'm not lying. I don't know if you guys see this right here. That's burn. That is a burn from stripper. So if you're not careful, it will burn you. So that is easy, fast, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. And again, that is, you need this, you need some good gloves. I like these gloves because if you get it on the stripper, it doesn't just disintegrate the glove right away. So you need some good gloves. You need something that you're going to be able to put the stripper in, because actually like these little spots right here, see these little spots right here, I will fill this with stripper and then I'll go over and scrape it. I'm not going to just take the thing and drip it, okay? In a big area I would, and then spray it, or not spray it, but brush it. A chip brush, you can reuse this chip brush unless it has like paint particles in it. It doesn't matter, you can reuse it. Your plastic scraper, these are better. And I didn't need my steel wool for this one, so I'll show you in the next one how I use my steel wool. But this is the stripper that I use, Jasco. It comes in smaller sizes, but this one, it's about $28 to $30 at Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot. I think that they have it at Walmart. It's a pretty popular brand. They do have smaller ones. So anyways, and it's Saturday and it's sunny, and today my daughter has her birthday party, and we actually just went to urgent care this morning because little baby Lane has croup. So I hope you guys have a good weekend because I don't know, mine's gonna be up in the air. But anyways, all right guys. So hopefully that taught you something. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions and have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.